If your nib's too slow and your ink won't flow, here's one of the places that you can go. Larry is here to help you through with Mr. Announcer and Cubby too. It's Larry's Fountain Pen Reviews.
So anyways, that's kind of where we've been at. You know, we've been keeping our head down. After the St. Louis pen, show pen, you know, we did 24 of those. I took a little break. That was grueling because we did it in a very short time. So we've just been slowly, I spent a lot of time finishing restoration of that machine, getting the rest of this tuned up and running. You know, when we moved in here, I got enough working so I could keep making pens and really didn't worry about a lot of organization, you know, getting the other machines running, things like that. So, you know, taking time to do a little maintenance and things was important.
So let me quickly critique the people that will be watching this video where Hinze has come now. When I first met Jim, got to know him, started hanging out with him, which was an honor, on the nibs that he was ordering, because he tried different places till he found the right one that really has some great nibs. They didn't have the logo on his nibs. And we talked about that. Remember, at one time we talked about, Jim, you need to do this. Finally, it didn't happen overnight. It took a lot of this. Finally, because Jim just doesn't talk a whole lot about Jim. So anyway, so he has his logos that makes those nibs look stunning. And they're Jovo nibs, and they're number 6 nibs. I think he does still have some Bach.
I still got Bach. I still offer Bach, and actually, I can get Bach now with my logo on them.
Ah, okay, right there. Now remember, if you buy a nib, a Bach nib, correct me if I'm wrong, and you want to change it out with, if you have a Jovo nib, that's not going to fit, right?
Not going to fly.
Right. They have different setups, so remember that.
Completely different sizes. You'd think the Germans would get on the ball and get in cahoots with that, but the feeds aren't interchangeable. You can't take out a nib from the Jovo housing and put it in the Bach housing or vice versa. It just doesn't work that way.
No, and you know what? I know that. Not going to work. Trust me, not going to work. Don't even waste your time. I'm telling you, don't do it. I warned you. So, okay, so he has titanium nibs, right?
Yep.
Lovely nibs. I love titanium. Great nibs. At least it's my opinion. So he's done that. Clips on pens. That's a big thing for me. Some people, they don't care if they have clips or not. I do. Then they have these little knocker things. What do you call them on it?
Roll stops.
Yeah, roll stops. Okay. I am just a clip guy because I like to just clip my pen on my shirt and go. If I have those other kind of pens, I have to put them in pen cases and take them with me. And I'm pretty clumsy, and I will knock it off the table or roll off the table, and there it goes, and I don't want to bust my pen. So I'm a clip type of person. Not saying that I won't use a pen, because I have pens that don't have clips on them, but I 99% want a clip, and Jim does clips. And they're not the easiest thing to put on pens. It takes more work, right or wrong, Jim?
Oh, it does. In fact, you'll see a bunch of the new custom makers that are out there. I don't teach, when I teach my classes, I don't teach how to put clips on. So if you see a maker out there who hadn't figured out how to put clips on there yet, they haven't been doing it long. And you know, I just answered this question. Next month, I think there'll be an interview with Ink Happiness out of India with us. And one of the questions was, what do you look for in a custom maker? One, figure out how long they've been doing it first and foremost. If they just started or have been doing it a year or so, you know, they don't, at that point, they don't understand nibs. They can't tune a nib. What they can do is they can make the components that screw together. Right. And they can buy somebody else's resin and make it look good. You know, you want to look for somebody that's been doing it a while. You know, I don't consider myself as having done this for an excessive amount of time. Jonathan Brooks, Sean Newton, Mike Allen have all been doing it a lot longer than I have. You know, but I've come a long way in the 5-6 years I've been doing this. Second is look for their reputation. You know, if something breaks with me, and Larry, you've got a lot of viewers who bought from me.
Yeah.
Something breaks, I'll replace it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Something goes wrong, I've remade entire pens for people, and you know, without even arguing with them. You know, the only time you're going to get a fight put up from me is if it's obvious you've run the pen over with your car, or you threw it at your wife.
Yeah, or yeah, just handle it. Yeah.
I mean, if you've obviously physically abused a pen, we might get into a little tiff about it. But you know, if there's something wrong with my work, and I am not perfect, I screw up. There's times I've shipped pens that were not quite right for whatever reason. Either I was still sleeping, just missed it. You know, I'm only human.
Right.
But it will get taken care of. You know, can make sure that, you know, the maker you're dealing with can do that.
I remember.
The other thing is make sure when they advertise their custom maker that they're actually making a pen.
Right.
So you'll see a lot of people now, they'll say, oh, polished by hand. That's not a handmade pen. That means behind the scenes, they got a CNC machine going. That means it's all computer driven. You know, there's not some guy sitting there measuring, spinning wheels, making cuts, inspecting. You know, somebody just sanded it to make it look good.
So again, I want to say again, and I can't say this enough, Jim, hands-on, that's it, making your pen, making the pen you want. If you see pens on Jim's website and you say, well, you know what, I want something different, then you get with Jim and you want to tell him what you want, and then he'll make what you want. You can do that.
Within reason.
Yeah.
There are limits, but, you know.
Yeah. Like the Paladin pen he made for me. Lovely pen. I love it. You know, I'm using it now. Remember, I'm using my pens now. He got onto me because they weren't in my carry, but now I promise they'll be in my carry. I'll catch hell, and I don't want that. So
I'm sorry, Larry. When you do here's my top 5 carry pens, and you keep telling me how great that Paladin is, and the original is in there, not mine. Maybe I got a little offended, but you know.
Well, and you shouldn't, because here's how it works.
I have feelings too.
Because here's, I know, but see, my thing is, I have to rotate these pens because I have pens I'm not even using, and then I'll say this about it and that's it. And then, you know, after I talked to Jim, you know, it hit me that those pens are just sitting there and I forgot all about them. So now they're not, they're with me. So, in fact, they're in my pen case in the den right now. Yep. I have an extra fine gold nib, a fine gold nib, a steel 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 gold nib. There.
We need to get you one of those extra fine semi-flex.
Yeah, I wonder how that'd work.
Oh, I got a customer in Germany that absolutely loves it.
Really? There's a ebonite feed, right, with it?
Yep.
Yep.
Well, no, not necessarily. You can get it with an ebonite feed, but it comes standard with the ABS plastic feed.
Because the plastic out here doesn't do well with a flex nib.
Yeah, but Pablo has this little hack where he opens up the breather hole, and it increases the flow. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Interesting. To check that out to see.
And again, it's only semi-flex, so remember,
right.
It's not going to be like a stylo sweet nib where you know you've got 2 inches between the tines as it's coming down.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So anyway, so he's now, you know, his nibs now has his logo on it. He's got the finial. He does clips as well. you, how about the bands on the pins? You do the bands right on the pins?
Yeah. I don't do a lot of them. I've got 2 or 3 standard models that have bands. The American Graffiti has one. The Zeitgeist has one, and the Caribbean have one. And the Caribbean and Zeitgeist, we use a sterling silver band.
Okay.
The Americana is just a stainless steel one. But what I find is, again, going back to what we're known for, the massive colors and the bold colors, you start putting bands on the cap and it really takes away from the resin, which is the beautiful part of the pen. So
but
we
I do
certainly
like
can.
I do like myself the bands on pins. I don't know, that's just me, preference.
Well, then, if you like it, we'll put bands on it for you.
Cool. How do you do your faces too? Yeah.
When I'm designing a pen or a new pen, it's got to feel right. And granted, it's my style and my interpretation,
right,
not anybody else's. So what you see is largely my preferences, what I look for. Which is funny because my favorite commercial pen's a Sailor 1911 large, and I don't make anything like that. So
why not?
I don't know.
If while we're at it, why don't you make?
Because I don't like copying people.
Well, you don't have to make it exactly like that, man. You can change it up.
I understand, but I don't know. I don't know why.
And you need to make a size like the King of Pins, the Sailor King of Pins. That's a nice size.
That's just the Avancio a little longer.
Well, then make one a little longer. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't you think?
Yeah. In fact, I think the Avancio is a little bit bigger. The body's a little bit bigger. The cap's a little smaller. The cap on the cap on the King of Pens is with the clip 22 millimeters, I think.
So do you have to be in a certain mood to make a particular pen?
Not necessarily. I have to be in a good mindset to make a pen. I've walked out to the shop, and again, I work in the mornings. I'll come out here and I'll start working, and I'll get my music going, or I'll get talk radio going, and everything will seem fine. And all of a sudden, I'll break something. And then, all right, well, let's start again. And I'll get to a certain point and I'll break it again. And then I'm starting to get a little agitated. And by the 3rd time I break something, I just turn everything off and walk inside. It's just not my day.
Right.
There have been times where, I've just said, look, I don't feel like making a pen today. I'm just not going to do it. Right. Because it'll lead to me breaking more stuff. But that, that's kind of rare. That doesn't happen a whole lot.
And you also at times pour your own. You make your own.
Well, we make about. We're getting better. We're probably half or better, 50% or better of our own resins.
Yeah.
I used to all the standard models with the exception of the Americana, which is ebonite, and the American Graffiti, which is acrylic acetate. I pour all those resins.
And let me say, people, if you haven't heard of the Americana, if you haven't seen it, you need to look at it. If you ever bought one, then you're going to know what I'm talking about. Really a stunning pen. It's one of my favorites. Yeah.
It's a very classic design.
Yeah, cool.
And it has a vintage clip, and I'm running really short on those. I'm trying to see if I can get somebody to make those for me.
At one time you were going to make your own clips. What happened to that?
Well, I do from time to time make them. I find that unlike some makers who prefer making clips as opposed to pens, I will make them for the most ornate pens, or if somebody really wants a handmade clip, I'm happy to do it. I just don't enjoy it as much as pen making.
Okay.
And like I said, I know pen makers that would prefer making clips all day rather than making pens. To each their own. And besides, if I have to make the clip, I have to charge you for the time that it takes to make the clip.
Yep. Yeah, of
And,
course. Yep.
you know, I can't keep prices reasonable if I'm making every clip I put on a pen. There has to be some sort of automation involved. And the clip is really, it's an accent. It's like a tie with a suit. You know, you don't buy an $1,800 tie, but you'll buy an $1,800 suit.
So, okay, so we know now that Jim has come a long way with his nibs, got colored nibs that he's doing in-house, right? That's in-house that you're doing, right? Yep. And number 6, Joe on nibs. He does have bark. He does have titanium. He does have the gold. So I think Jim has a little of everything going on right now. He does have the clips, has the new finial on top. He's got all these cool colors that has created or has gotten. So he's come a long way. He's got updated machinery. So, you know, he started back in the day out at like Trader's Village or parking lot type thing. Remember, Jim? Francisco used to go out there and sell. Remember that?
Yep.
Yep. Come a long way, my friends. So now I think what we need to do, if Jim doesn't mind, Jim, would you entertain us with some of your pins that you have made? You
Yeah.
have? Okay.
Yeah. You have to hang on. Let me go grab Elise
All
and let her talk. You can ask her about pouring resin while I go get some of the finished ones and some of the nibs you want to see.
All right.
All right.
All right, cool. I'm going to get some water. Go get me some water, pretty please, while he go get your stuff. And I'll make funny faces here. So, anyway, folks, while Jim is getting the things together, incredible pen maker, for real. He takes pride in his work. And let's talk about Francisco a little bit. Francisco, amazing young man. I call him young, younger than me. The guy knows his business, sharp. He knows all about Jim's pens because he's Jim's right arm. Francisco has his day job, plus works for Jim. Very hard, dedicated worker. And when you go to the pen shows, you'll see Francisco there. And if you have any questions, ask Francisco. And he's right on it. He'll help you what you need. So Jim is fixing to show us some of his new pens that he's created that are on his website. And when you go to Jim's website, you can create your pens, what you want and what you want on it. And that's kind of cool. The nibs, you know, and there is an upgrade for the colored nibs, of course, titanium gold nibs. The nibs that he gets are from Spain, and I really like them. I like those extra fine gold nibs. You know, I was never an extra fine or fine nib type guy. It's always been medium, broad. But a friend of mine, Kara Overman, introduced me to a fine, then an extra fine. And then it just kind of hung with me. And I really do like it. You know, I'm a sloppy writer, but the fine and extra fine really helps improve my writing. But my thing is, I have to write slower. And I do okay when I first start, but then I just start taking off fast. Okay, here's Jim. Jim, to you, sir.
First one I'm going to show you. If you like pastels, you'll like this one. This is called the Natter Batter, and this was designed essentially by Elise's daughter. It's one of our skinnier pens, but it's got some beautiful blue and pink and green and yellow in there. Kind of looks like the set of Rowan and Martin's Laughing.
Yeah, okay. Nice clip on it, too.
Oh, zip it. Big Avancio with a turquoise clip.
Okay. Let's see, does it have a nib on it?
No, I don't think
Okay.
it does.
All right.
Let me check. No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Sorry. I've got a few nibs I got to plate yet for this weekend, but
All right.
this is really nice. The turquoise here on the clip will match the turquoise in the nib.
What does a pin like that sell for, Jim?
The base model of the Avancio is $199. This with the nib and the clip is going to be $240-ish.
240, 249, somewhere in there.
Yeah. All right, this one is the Blue Skies.
Okay.
So if you like blue, this is for you. And then, oh, I told you I had one with signal in there.
Oh, yeah, yeah, let's see that. Okay. There you go. Yeah, okay.
So
That's
this is a thinner version of the Patriot Elementar.
okay. Nice looking. Now, are you going to have any with clips?
Not that particular one for the show, but again, I can always make them.
Okay.
There's another one. This is the normal size.
That's pretty. That's pretty.
Well, what else do we have? Ooh, this one. Okay, so this is the Magical Mermaid.
All right.
And this one does have
A beautiful purple nib. That is pretty. Now, hold that thought right there for a minute. Now, folks, on these colored nibs of Jim's, what inks are not healthy for the nib, Jim?
So it really boils down to if an ink is particularly alkaline, meaning it's basic, sort of like drain cleaner, it can affect the overall look of the nib and
There you
get it
go.
start peeling off.
Beautiful
So-
nibs. Look at that. That is beautiful. Yeah, I
Private-
want a blue one. Jim, I want a blue one. I want a green one. I want a black one. I want a red one. I want a pink one. Just like, thank you. Okay.
Okay, so let me finish. Stay away from Noodler's inks and Private Reserve inks with colored nibs. They have been known to eat the plating right off.
Okay. Are they hard to do?
They're time consuming, and you have to be able to tune the nib afterwards
Ah,
because, you know, if you look, it plates the rhodium ball.
I'm looking. Yeah.
So before you write with it, before you give it away, you actually have to make sure that that plating doesn't affect the ink flow.
All right.
So all of them get written with and smoothed, potentially. Sometimes they come out perfect, but more often than not, they don't.
Okay. Those are pretty. That green is pretty. That red, that purple, that black, they're pretty nibs. Yep. That is stunning nibs. They're really stunning nibs. Love the color.
And these, you know, the ones we were getting out of Spain, you know, you've seen it. Some of yours have chipped.
Right, right.
These, we've been doing these the whole year now. And so far, they have held up far beyond my expectations.
Well, mine have held up very well.
Well, your new one, the one you had on the original Nebula wasn't so great.
Well, still okay.
But the one that I redid for you, and I just redid one for Troy's son, Troy LaPlante's son. So, so far, I think he's over, what am I trying to say? He's very happy with it so far.
You know, I may get another nib from my Nebula just because, an extra fine.
Okay.
I don't know what color yet. That's the only problem. So,
Turquoise, blue, or orange?
yeah, that's the problem.
You were yelling years ago you wanted orange for that one. And,
Yeah, and that's probably what's going to happen. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And now I have it.
I do a lot of yelling, as you notice it. Yeah.
You do. You're you know, I've come to expect it.
That's okay. That's me.
Part of knowing Larry.
I'm just hyperactive, loudmouth, crazy Larry. I mean, just, you know, it's what the heck, you know, that's what rocks in my head, dude. It's like, but hell, I do have one thing in my head. I love fountain pens. Do I not, Jim?
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Very passionate about fountain pens.
Yeah, and I you know, it's not the kind of deal that I just buy a fountain pen to show it off. I buy it because I like the pen, you know. So I enjoy pens. It's a relief for me because, you know, I have these health issues going on, and, you know, I've got a lot of pain going on. So I make it to my journal and grab my pen. I have my pens religiously and I write, and it kind of helps offset the pain. So yeah, pens are my thing. So, all right, Jim, anything else you'd like to tell the people?
No, just even as much of an introvert as I am, I'm looking forward to seeing some people on Friday and Saturday. So I've kind of missed the pen shows this year, which is odd. So really looking forward to it. Keep watching. We always have something new coming out. We're always trying to do something new with resins and whatnot. So
how's the family doing?
They're okay. One is in the middle of trying to interrupt me. Speak now. You're on camera.
Hi.
Hi.
Don't be bashful. It's only me. Hello. Yeah. Yeah.
She's on polishing duty tonight.
Oh, okay. Well, Jim, I think have we touched all the bases?
I think so. We've covered everything. Look, if the people watching this have questions, I'll try and keep an eye on the video and answer what I can.
Okay, real quick, if they want to get a hold of you, what's the best way to get a hold of you? What's your website before we done? Give them that.
So you can, on the website, there's a contact us form that works great. It's hinzepens.com. You can also email Francisco or I at sales@hinzepens.com. You can get us on Instagram. Hinze Pen is our name. You can send us a direct message there. You don't know who you're going to get because both Francisco and I answer it sometimes at the same time. So, you know, if you're ever curious, just ask who you're talking to. So we're really reachable.
Well, Jim, I appreciate you spending some time with me this evening, and we're going to have to be doing this, you know, again in a couple of months, and just hang out and let the people know, you know, how you're doing, and show them all your new creations, and just keep them informed that what you're doing, and just show them your stuff, and save me about 5 of those pens.
Well, are we going to see you this weekend?
You know, probably not.
Okay, fair enough.
You know, I am just, well, with the health conditions. Well, in fact, I know tomorrow I go to the doctor tomorrow, and I'm going to ask him that question and see what he says. So they're saying 75% is allowed in there?
Yeah, and there's only a handful of vendors. You know, there's less than 20 vendors, seriously.
Okay.
And they're spreading them out in the same space that's normally taken by the show. So no table's going to be closer than 8 or 10 feet apart. There'll be big jugs of hand sanitizer everywhere. We'll all be wearing masks.
Okay.
You know, I'm not going to tell you it's safe. Nobody can predict that.
Right.
But all reasonable precautions are being taken.
Right. Well, okay, my friend, I guess that's going to wrap this up. And again, thank you, Jim, for sharing your time with me. I appreciate it. And I hope the people enjoy this video. It's a video that's all about Jim, what he does, his passion, his love, his honesty. So for now, Jim, until next time, be safe, my friend. Take care.
Hey, guys, thanks, Larry. Appreciate it.
Man, hang in there, my friend. Take care. If anything I can do for you, let me know.
Will do.
Right here.